Donald Trump says he plans on giving $2,000 in tariff money to every American. This is the same person that promised us $5,000 back in February when Doge was firing everybody. We haven't seen either of those checks. On top of that, he accused Obama of making $2.5 million a year off of Obamacare, which doesn't even make sense. Blamed the government shutdown on Democrats when it's his fault. Ordered states to reverse the funding they provided the SNAP recipients, and then went golfing. This is the President of the United States, and he is a disgrace. And he is so much of a disgrace that Scott Bessent calls him out, his own loyalist. Here is Trump promising everybody $2,000 for his tariffs. People that are against tariffs are fools. We are now the richest, most respected country in the world with almost no inflation and a record stock market price. 401ks are the highest ever. We are taking in trillions of dollars and will soon begin paying down our enormous debt. 37 trillion. Record investment into the USA, plants and factories going up all over the place. A dividend of at least $2,000 a person, not including high income people, would be paid to everybody. His lies just get more and more fanatical. They get worse every single day. I legitimately believe he has a mental ailment for compulsively lying. I think he is the book definition of a pathological and a compulsive liar. Compulsive liar habitually tells falsehoods without a clear reason, often out of habit or an irresistible urge, even when the truth would be more beneficial. Pathological liar, a person who habitually lies, often compulsively and without a clear external motive or for seemingly no reason at all. This behavior can be a standalone compulsion or a symptom of an underlying mental health condition such as a personality disorder. And Trump's lies are so bad, Scott Bessent tried to do damage control because he knows Trump has no intentions of giving anybody any money, but he only makes the situation worse. This is the problem with having a bunch of unqualified Nazis in the government, because we can't run a country based off of racism when you only have your current job because of racism and are far below the definition of mediocrity. Let's see what Scott Bessent had to say about Trump's $2,000 checks.
The $2,000 dividend could come in lots of forms, in lots of ways, George. It could be just the tax decreases that we are seeing on the president's agenda. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, deductibility of auto loans. So, those are substantial deductions that, are being financed in the tax.
So there's no check coming. Thank you for the clarification, Scott Bessent. Nothing is going to happen, and he lied again. Thank you very much. Trump is known for false promises and under-delivering, and I hope Obama sues him because of this post. Doge holds a yearly payment of $2.5 million to Barack Obama for royalties linked to Obamacare. Obama has collected this payment since 2010 for a total of $40 million in taxpayer dollars. So now our president is spreading misinformation based off of random links he sees online. And the link he clicked, their website has a section about satire. Everything on this website is fiction. It is not a lie, and it is not fake news because it is not real. Now, clearly the owner of this website and Trump have the same level of IQ, but what they're saying is nothing they post on their site is real. But Trump's reposting it as if it is. Why? Because MAGA will instantly believe him. It won't be too long till you see videos of random MAGAs on the street talking about Obama's making millions off of Obamacare, aka the Affordable Care Act, which most of MAGA doesn't know they're the same thing. And a lot of MAGA is on the Affordable Care Act. They think Obamacare is this totally separate thing. Why? Because of pathological liar Donald J. Trump. And on Trump's claim of taking in trillions of dollars, Scott Bessent has to fact check that too. Why? Because Trump is a compulsive and pathological liar. Let's see what he has to say about the $20 trillion Trump claimed we made this year alone. And $20 trillion is not an exaggeration. Trump said these words himself in this clip.
Investing in America, $20 trillion. No country's ever done anywhere even near that, like a fraction of that. Biden did less than $1 trillion in 4 years. I did 20 trillion. We're going to do over 17 trillion in 8 months. By the time we end, we could do over $20 trillion. There's never, in China, no matter where you go, there's never been anything like it. We are building up something that's unbelievable. And a big part of that are the tariffs, because they don't want to have to pay the tariffs because it's so unsustainable that they come and build the pharmaceuticals and the chips and all of the things. They're coming into the United States and they're building them. It's a miracle what's happening. We are building the greatest country in the world, economically, greater than we've ever been before.
And do you know why Trump feels so encouraged and emboldened to tell these incredible lies? It's because MAGA rewards this bad behavior. And at that point, you're teaching him the more you do this, the more successful we will make you. Just keep ruining the lives of people of color and we'll be there. And here is Scott Bessent trying to do damage control to yet another one of Trump's compulsive lies. Let's see how he tries to save this insane claim.
The posting about tariffs this morning he's saying people that are against tariffs are fools. We're taking in trillions of dollars. Is that true?
We have over the course of the next few years, we could take in trillions of dollars, George. But the real goal of the tariffs is to rebalance trade and make it more fair. You know, over time, and the president's goal is to bring back manufacturing to the U.S. You know, for the past two, 3, 4 decades, we have seen our manufacturing sector gutted. So what would happen over time is we would take in substantial money as factories come back to the U.S., as we're seeing now. I was just down in South Carolina at a rare earth magnet plant and a Boeing plant on Friday. And, you know, that's I believe, 1,500 total new jobs. Tariff income will be substantial, but then that will rebalance. The goal here, George, is to rebalance trade. So tariff income will be substantial at the beginning, it will come down, and then domestic tax revenues will climb as corporate taxes go up and all these high-paying jobs are created.
The president's main argument, though, seems to be that it's about taking in the revenue, and he also promised this morning
No,
a
George,
dividend of at least $2,000 a person, not including high-income people. How is he going to pay that dividend of $2,000 a person?
Might have to end it there because I think we covered that earlier.
It's not about taking in the revenue; it's about rebalancing. And the revenue occurs early on, and then as we rebalance and the jobs come home, then it becomes domestic tax revenue.
Are you worried that the president's focus on revenue, though, which is what he's been focusing on in his public statements, is going to hurt your argument at the Supreme Court?
Not at all. It's completely consistent that the revenues come in at the beginning, then as we rebalance, which is the goal of this, bring back high-paid manufacturing jobs to the U.S., then it will then more.
So we're not making any money at all. Thank you very much, Scott Percent. We lost 150,000 jobs last month, Scott Percent. There is more unemployed than jobs available, and huge companies like Wendy's are downsizing. Wendy's to close roughly 240 to 360 stores nationwide starting in late 2025. On top of his extravagant Mar-a-Lago parties as he refuses to pay 42 million Americans SNAP, and just recently ordered states to reverse their funding for SNAP. To the extent states sent full SNAP payment files for November 2025, this was unauthorized. Accordingly, states must immediately undo any steps taken to issue full SNAP benefits for November 2025. Please advise the appropriate FNS regional office representative of steps taken to correct any actions taken that do not comply with this memorandum. You cannot make this stuff up. But apparently Trump said we made $20 trillion. When does MAGA say enough of these lies, give us our country back? This is them and others standing outside of a food bank, by the way. Luckily, Trump had some words for this. Oh, never mind. He's at his golf club. And instead of addressing the actual problems America has, he takes a moment in his car ride to make another post. And after he raised healthcare premiums under the Affordable Care Act by refusing to renew the tax credits, which is why the government is shut down, he now uses his compulsive lying superpowers to blame what he did to U.S. citizens on Obama. Obama hasn't been president since 2015. Here is what deluded J. Trump had to say about this. I am sorry that the American people are being terrorized by Democrats who have decided to shut the government down and make me and other Republicans continue Obamacare subsidies, which have been a windfall for health insurance companies and a disaster for the American people. The largest health insurance companies have seen their stock prices soar, some over 1,000% since the passage of Obamacare. Meanwhile, American premiums have more than doubled, contrary to President Obama's promise. I believe that the money should go directly to the people to purchase better health care and create competition. This enrichment of health insurance companies must stop. It is long past time to lower premiums, not enrich insurance companies. I stand ready to work with both parties to solve this problem once the government is open. Stop terrorizing the American people. Stop pushing failed policies. When the whole time it's Trump pushing failed policies. Because Trump is a failure of a president, and he's a failure of a human being. Trump just admitted his plan was removing government-assisted healthcare and making you pay the bills out of pocket. It turns out his concepts were actually concepts, they were just delusions. But when Donald Trump's entire personality is based in delusion, telling us our economy is great while it's terrible, and offering 50 50-year mortgage death traps, we shouldn't be too surprised. Now, we might have a slight problem, but this is just a rumor that we have to believe isn't true. This is just some random guy on the internet. An end to the shutdown is in sight. A senior Dem senator tells me there will be more than enough Democrats to vote in favor of reopening the government. This honestly just sounds like more MAGA propaganda. No sane Democrat senator would do this. There's no way it's true. They'll get a promise of a vote on healthcare, but nothing more. A promise of a vote? What does that even mean? So yes, this is MAGA propaganda. Democratic senators would lose all respect if they gave in. They are fighting for the people of America and would show themselves as weak and spineless if they did something like that. I refuse to believe it. This has to be propaganda. They have 70% of Americans standing behind them. Let's be realistic here. And the better question is, as Trump ignores America's problems, why is Gavin Newsom outperforming Trump at his own job? Oh, that's right, because this argument is rooted in reality. Let's take a look at this clip.
We've got to deal with the issue of our time, that we have to democratize this economy if we're going to save democracy. You can't have 10% of people owning 2/3 of the wealth in this country. You can't have that 30-year-old that's doing worse than his parents' generation for the first time in U.S. history. And so those are fundamental issues that were obviously present in this election on Tuesday. And Donald Trump got it for a moment and now is defensively suggesting he's solved it. Ask the folks on Amazon paying 12% more. Ask the folks at Target paying 5.5% more, or at Walmart 5.3% more. Ask you and me that went down to get coffee today 18.9% more than a year ago. Look at the cost of a pound of beef. Donald Trump said he would make us wealthier and healthier. We're poorer and sicker. And I don't want to see that sickness extend to ending our republic and our democracy as know it, particularly in the 250th anniversary.
We're poor, sicker, and on top of that, Trump wants to get rid of SNAP and get rid of our healthcare coverage. Which, by the way, getting rid of Obamacare wouldn't make it more competitive. It would make it less competitive because these other health insurance companies have a monopoly on the market. Here's a man with private healthcare who was paying $44 a month for his cancer. In 2026, it's going up to $2,600. And his deductibles go up almost 10 times in size. Now, there have been multiple reports within the past hour that they are about to vote on reopening the government. The only circumstance I personally think that could happen under is if people were getting paid off and accepting the money. But let's not go off of rumors and what ifs. We'll see what happens when they vote today. Here is Adam Schiff standing firm about Trump's concepts of a plan and exposing their healthcare lie.
More than 8 years after he came down that golden escalator, they still don't have a healthcare plan. They're still back to what Trump once called concepts of a plan. And in the middle of a shutdown, when people are really hurting, we need more than concepts of a plan. Let's just extend the ACA for a year, reopen the government, and then we can negotiate a more permanent fix to this crisis in healthcare in this country.
That sounds perfect and like something you can't decline. And if you decline that, you're telling America you are in the wrong. And with that being said, let Trump and all of his lackeys eat themselves. Let them drown in their own lies and let MAGA self-destruct. Because in a toxic relationship, if there was a person who was a pathological liar who was toxic and just a terrible person all around, and at the end of the day, you say to them, I will always be here to clean up your mess. No matter what, I will always be here and you will always be forgiven. That person will never respect you. And with that being said, open up the government, Mike Johnson, and release the Epstein files. And pay these people their damn snap. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please make sure to have a great day. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time.